Good morning, YouTube. I wanted to share something with you I was working on learning about to expand my knowledge of cryptocurrencies, mining, and how a new network called a Helium network works. And so let's get right into that. So Helium is a crypto that works to form a network. All of these dots are hotspots that are an actual Helium miner. And what a Helium miner does is it connects to another Helium miner and they form a network. And you can kind of zoom into an area and see what that network looks like. So there's a hex that the Helium miner can reach out to, and it connects to, side hexes. And so if you get down to this real narrow spot, you can even do it where you live. You can see there's 4 Helium miners in this area. And here's what they made last month. And this is the highest one, 12.88. So, maybe they'll say 12 at $24 each. You're talking about $360 is what they made this month. And you click on here. One of the cool things about crypto is there's a lot of transparency. And so they are running a cow chip connected device, 2.3 dBi, and they are connected out to the other nodes. Now, I don't know everything about this, but they're connected to the other nodes. And here's, basically you can see their earnings, their activity. This site is called explorehelium.com. You can just look up Helium network map on Google, and it'll pop up and kind of show you this mapping. And so back probably 6 months ago, I bought a Bobcat miner, and it's been pending on order for a long time because they're very back ordered. Finally got it in a couple days ago, so I got it set up. So here is my area, and so you click on here in my area, and here's Walmart's data centers over here, and you look in my area and there's 3 miners. The highest one made 3 HNT, which is about $75 this month, and this is the one that I set up just now, and it got set up yesterday. You can see the activity. It's a Bobcat miner, 4 dBi, the height of the antenna that I have. Now this isn't like a Bitcoin miner where it's mining based on CPU capacity. It's actually a very, very small device with a Raspberry setup inside of it, and so it just works to connect to the other ones to form a network so it can do payment transfers. And so you can see here I set up last night. I've earned 7 cents in HNT. That goes directly to a new HNT wallet that I set up, that I have full access to. You can see activity, witnessed activity, and I wanted to share this with you, not because you should go out and buy a Helium miner, but one of the areas of investing and becoming wealthy that you have to do is you have to experiment with new things to learn. And so I have this area of things that I do just to learn, okay, and I allocate money to those things. So this is like a $500 HNT miner, and on a learn. Now many people, they will spend money to go to college. They'll take a class. It costs $600 to get that certificate or something because someone else told them to do, but they will not spend or delegate their own money to spend money on learning, and so that's a big mistake. And so yesterday I actually bought 3 books that I'm going to be looking at to learn, to take action. The other mistake people make is that they get confused between action and learning, or let's say piddling, right? And so what I do is when I make an investment, that investment or that area of investment has to be between 3 and 10% of my net worth. So if you take your entire net worth and you figure 3%, when I actually make an investment, it will not be less than 3%. And so that forces me to make a decision to actually do things rather than just to piddle. So, because if you think about it this way, this miner is a $500 and I made 7 cents, okay, in the last day. Now, that's not going to be something I can retire on, but let's say I get to the point that I understand these returns and how this process works, and so I need to put, 5 or 10,000 into miners to take it to the next step, to say, hey, is this going to be something that I'm going to invest in more heavily? Well, so I have experiments on the side. If you see the screen behind me, back here, I'm doing Solana staking, which is part of my crypto investment. I bought IMSOL, which is a crypto that tracks Solana. So basically, if you own an IMSOL, then that underlying asset is a stake Solana. So you can buy and sell the IMSOL while the Solana is still staked, which is confusing. You can also then use the IMSOL to have a liquidity pool, so get a secondary interest. One interest level on increase in value of IMSOL because of the Solana staking, and the second increase because you're loaning out the IMSOL for a liquidity pool. And so those are all things I'm doing or going to be doing to learning about, but many of those things I have not pulled the trigger on. The other day I shared with you that I bought Home Depot stock. That was an actual investment that I have, that I decided to have. Now, I might have a lot of things I'm playing with, but not a lot of investments. And so, from a stock standpoint, I've decided to invest in Walmart stock, which I'm acquiring a bigger position in right now, and Home Depot, which is one I have, and then I have real estate, in a couple of different areas. And crypto as a position. But most of my crypto position is in like 60% Ethereum and 40% Bitcoin. And so I consider that to be an investment. And then also in the crypto space, I've shifted my stablecoin or my cash into stablecoin. So I'm earning, 7.5 to 9% interest on that. But I want to share this with you so you see what an experiment looks like. These experiments do not change your life. You should be doing a lot of them. They take time sometimes to learn, but the learning is what expands your ability to make decisions so you can actually pull the trigger on investments. Many people think they should go from zero and just kind of jump. Like you jump into one investment, and that's not the case. That's kind of foolish, because until you understand an investment, you can't figure the probabilities. You don't know the cost, the possible returns, and all those things are key into making that decision about what you actually put your net worth into as an asset class or as an allocation. And so I just want to share that with you. Real life example. You can see, this is, the miners here. Let me pull this screen over just a bit. So, 7 cents is what I've earned on that. One thing I'm working on also with Helium is trying to figure out, where does that profit come from? Is it sustainable? It is a payment network, it says. But one of the things I found out on the Solana was that most of the interest is coming from a 7% inflation of the amount of Solana. So it's not really a sustainable, you're getting paid out. It's actually more Solana being issued, and that's where you're making your money. So maybe what they're hoping is they get people into it at that 7%, and gradually the payment processing on the Solana network ramps up to the point that takes over from the inflation. And maybe that's the biggest risk, is it doesn't get adopted, then that won't take over, and you're just left with the flat inflationary amount that you're getting, but at least you're getting inflationary. So Like and subscribe down below. I appreciate you guys following me and watching the videos, and I'll talk to y'all later.